In this video I will be demonstrating, well not demonstrating, but giving a bit of a rundown on a production that I have been working on since I came out of university. The name of this production is what I'll call at the moment Jack's Asylum. Now what it's about is it's going to be a horror game. One of my first games to be made actually, so it's going to be very basic, very it's less to do with attention to detail, but more to do with basically just having a first game out there, if you know what I mean. So to continue, I'm just going to quickly go into the play mode and just show exactly what it is like at the moment. I mean, you did see there was a character there, but for recording purposes I have moved him. But this is to look at mainly what is going on at the moment, not the first product or the first phase, which is developing the first area of the game, which is quite simple. Now nothing in this has been tweaked or changed or anything, not even the lighting or anything like that. I have left them exactly as they are. So to give a rundown, this is the Blender game engine. The characters I am using are from Adobe Fuse. The reason I'm using that is because, you know, it's a first time development. So I want to try and get something done quick and out the way. But this video also to run down on the development side of it as well. Not so much of what models or things I'm using, but it's more on the texture sides as well, and the resolution of the texture. So we're going to start off with the floor, just the first floor, our tile floor. Now, as you can see, from my personal opinion, this looks quite nice, very beautiful, very high detailed. The reason it's high detailed is because it is in high detail. I'm using a 4096 by 4096 resolution for the textures in both, diffuse, specular, and normal map. This has been normal mapped from an actual tile floor that I did model a while back. It was mainly just to get the look of tile floors. Now I did the research on looking at actual tile floors, like materials, and although I painted it in Photoshop, it was painted from scratch, but I used base reference images of actual tiles that I have seen at home, when I've been out and about in other places and stuff like that. I looked at different tiles. I also looked at how lighting hits of it, the reflection on it, and things like that, because in real life there's really no such thing as a specular lighting. Everything's all reflective, everything reflects. But for cheating in a video game, you use specular lighting to capture that shine of something, just to make it look like it's reflecting the lights. So again, I always coming in and out all the time just to make sure that my computer doesn't mess up on me, because these are high resolution graphics. And as you can see, as I shown again, you get close to it, it looks quite nice. You've got the nice shine to it. Even from a distance, it looks quite nice, almost realistic. I generally try and avoid using the word realistic, because in my field of work that I have done for many years now, can always tell when something's real and what's not real. It's obvious, in my opinion. So it looks good, very good, all painted from scratch and nothing. Now this wall design, however, I made very quickly. It does not use normal mappings, it uses a bump map instead, because I wanted it done out the way. It does have some specular lighting on it as well, especially this part. This is more like a plaster scene kind of wall. and this is more for stone walls. You can tell the difference between how they look in terms of specular lighting. It does have a bump map, as you can see. That's all it is, a bump map. And bump maps are good for when you want something looking bumpy very quickly. So now we're going to move on over to our next room, which is the hallway. And as you can see, I have this tile floor as well. The tile floor is based on that floor, but I made this one a little less clay-like and more ceramic. As you can see, using the same normal map as the one in there, but the way it looks is different in terms of color and style. Because this one is more ceramic than clay, it's got a bit more reflective surfaces to it. As you can see, if I try my best, if I zoom in to the dark tile, you can see the movement in the material. That is actually a reflective texture that I have also created from scratch in Adobe Photoshop to create a sky dome kind of look to it, so it looks reflective and and makes it quite nice. I also did something like a selective specular lighting as well, which means that only the lighter ceramic tiles shine more than the darker ceramic tiles. As you can see, if I zoom out, you can see the light blue tiles shining more whiter than the actual darker ceramic tiles. So this is another good work of mine. All of these textures are hand drawn from scratch by me, by the way. I painted them myself, modeled the tile look as well myself. So to create something that is it's just my personal opinion, from something that looks quite nice and nice like this, and paying attention to detail, it's not a bad thing for someone like me. I'm more of a 3D person, not really so much on textures. I'd say, however, that my personal most best textures I've ever made for a game or any production is this ceramic or this clay tile floors. This is my best textures I ever made for a game, because of how detailed it looks and how realistic it almost looks. I also like to say that the room we're in at the moment is the showers. Yeah, the shower room. It's not yet finished. None of this is near completed yet. It's just a start. But this is the main room. The setting is actually in a asylum, so I also had to do some research into what mental institutions look like, hospitals in general, things like that, what they look like, and certain stuff, and create a environment that is similar but unique at the same time. I wanted to create something that looks like a asylum, but at the same time is made by me with my own details and designs and stuff like that. So, nothing to address in this is the lighting. I mean, at the moment you can't see where the lights are coming from, but there are lights in it. For example, this light is meant to represent the moonlight coming in through the windows, which I still have to bring in at the moment. The colour sky stays as it is. I have not yet altered the light effects of any of the lamps in this. I'm using a mix of spot lamps and point lamps.